morning, everybody. Welcome to the Brandywine Township Board of Supervisors meeting for Thursday, April 4th, 2024. Just a reminder, a recording device will be used during this meeting, and the meeting will open with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public comment for agenda items. Rules for conduct of established for meeting in 2001-08. The time allotted to each individual making a comment shall be 3 minutes unless otherwise set by the presiding officer. Additional public comment may be granted at the discretion of the presiding officer at the conclusion of the meeting. Open it up for public comment on agenda items. Seeing none, we'll move on to the minutes of the previous meeting for the approval of the March 31st, 2024 Board of Supervising meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the March 21st Board of Supervisors meeting.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the treasurer's report. Do I have an authorization to pay the bills and approve payroll?
I'll make a motion to authorize and pay the bills.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I don't believe we have any old business or new business, so we're going to turn it over to Luke for the ordinance resolution for consideration of 6 of 2024.
Good morning. At your last meeting, the board heard a presentation from Jim Buxala encouraging the township to adopt a resolution supporting the United States' upcoming semi-quincentennial. That boilerplate resolution has been put in the format of an East Brandywine Township resolution and is in your packet for consideration for adoption today. Pretty short and sweet. I guess this is an important event, but I would say this is largely a ceremonial action.
All right, so we're going to adopt that then? Is that
That would be my
order
recommendation.
of business then?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 6 of 24 supporting the United States semi-quincentennial.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the draft resolution, Tom, I'll turn that over to you for the volunteer firefighters.
Thank you. This was presented to you at the last meeting. A copy of the county ordinance was presented by Joe Edwards. We've drafted a resolution which has the effect of creating a tax credit program for the township for volunteer firefighters who meet certain criteria set forth in the resolution, which are similar to the county criteria. You would get the credit if you meet the criteria and are a volunteer member of any of the fire companies or EMS agencies listed on attachment A. It includes companies that do not serve East Brandywine Township, but the thought was if you volunteer and you own a house here and you occupy a house here, you should get the credit. So this is on the agenda, I think, for discussion purposes, and I know Carl had some concerns about what would be credited, which tax, and we made it clear in the resolution that it's the real estate tax. It's used for general township purposes as permitted by the second-class township code and would not apply to the fire tax. So it is on for discussion.
Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, I'll also add that since the last meeting, we have received a report of 2023 activity and what that volunteer activity would translate to in terms of a tax credit. I've further applied those percentages to the assessed valuations of the primary residences of those volunteers, and I can say a fiscal note for 2024 would be about $4,700.
And this resolution would be effective for tax year 2025, the way it reads at the present time.
The only question I have is, how many of our neighboring townships that we serve are considering adopting this as well? I know we serve West Brandywine and a number of others. Has any of this been brought to these other townships?
Excuse me. Well, the townships that we impact, West Brandywine, is up for adoption of it. I can't talk to whether Callan Township, Valley Township, or Downingtown Borough is, we're not championing that cause.
Okay.
To go out there. For
Yeah, no, I understand. I was just, it's just a curiosity question. You're saying West Brandywine?
Know the answer. I think there are 12 or 13 townships within the county who have adopted it. I think. I don't have that number specifically, though.
How about, you do Upper Euclid as well, right?
We do Upper
Are they-
Euclid, yeah.
are-
We're actually having a board meeting with them at our station this month.
Yeah, I don't have any questions either. It's been
Yeah.
going back and forth in email, so
Yeah, I was-
I'm actually fine with it, and I know
Yeah.
it's just for the draft, but I'm good with it.
And I am as well.
Okay, so since it wasn't listed on the agenda for adoption this morning, we'll put it on the agenda at your PM meeting, and you can adopt it at that time.
Understood.
I just want to say thanks to Luke and Tom for working on that. We went back and forth with emails as to what the correct way it should be presented, and these guys worked real hard to get it through for us, and I appreciate your guys' help.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to Luke again for the County 247 review.
Thank you. Sorry, multitasking here. Okay, so let me it was reset to a previous Board of Supervisors meeting. I believe it was your first meeting in March. The board gave staff permission to forward a draft ordinance that would amend the definition of impervious surfaces to make the surface area of a swimming pool or the surface area of a deck over the top of unimproved soil as pervious for the purpose of stormwater calculations. In your packet dated March 27th, there is the Act 247 response from Chester County. The action item this morning, if the board so desires, would be to authorize staff and the solicitor to advertise this ordinance for adoption at a future meeting.
Yeah, and I've had time to review this as well. We talked about this in a public meeting, and I'm actually okay with it, and I'll leave it up to Francis if he has any questions.
I don't. I think I'm good with it.
So do I have a motion for the, well, I'll actually make the motion, make life easier. I'll make the motion to, for permission for the ordinance for the, to advertise for 247 review.
I'm sorry, a friendly amendment there. The motion is to advertise for adoption.
For adopt.
I'm sorry, advertise for adoption.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Public comment for non-agenda items. Seeing none, the board did not meet for executive session between Friday, March 22nd and Thursday, April 4th. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.